Okay, welcome back to those of you that have been following along through some of these tutorials for Flipscene Studio. We're just going through this book number 1 and looking at some of the different scenes that are available in this book. There's a 6-inch version and a 6-inch version for each of these books. Today we're just looking at the 4-inch. This is book 1, the Essentials Pack, as you can see here. So this is what that looks like. And today we're going to be looking at tutorial number 8. This is the frozen wasteland scene, and we're going to be editing the Mandalorian. I chose the frozen wasteland because he finds himself in all kinds of situations. He really could go anywhere, whether it be in a jungle, in a desert, in a frozen ice tundra. I mean, it doesn't matter. Mando ends up in all sorts of shenanigans. So, but we're going to go with him for this frozen wasteland. All right. You will hear me say some things such as control or command, blah, blah, blah. I'm using a Windows system, so if you hear me say control when I'm talking about keyboard shortcuts, if you're using a Mac, you would use command. So just substitute that. I am using Photoshop. If you don't have Photoshop, you can use Photopea at Photopea or Photopea. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Photopea.com. And you will see me using some overlays, which are my special effects that I've created myself over here. These are some custom special effects. But if you go back and look at tutorial number 3, you will see how you can make some of those effects super easy. All right. So without further ado, here is the image that I took. So this right here, as you see on the floor in the background behind him, this is the frozen wasteland scene out of the book. And basically I've set that up and I've put the Mandalorian figure right there in the middle of it. Took a cool picture with my cell phone, and now we're up to par. So that's where we are now. For starters, what I want to do is I'm just going to get the proper names, the polygonal lasso tool in this situation. I'm just going to clean up a couple of things. Like I can see the hole that was in the top of the picture, and I can see the edge of the picture right here. So I'm just going to kind of select some of these areas right here, and I'm going to say generate a fill and always leave that default, unless you have something specific you want to do, but I just leave it default and just say generate, and this should quickly take that away up there and fix that problem. We'll see. The waiting game, here we are. Okay, yep, it removed it as I wanted. That already looks good enough for me. Where did it put it? It put it way up here. So let's drag this down. I just want this to be with him. Okay, so I'm going to hold Control to select both of these, and then I'm going to press Control E to merge them. So now that is taken care of and cleaned up. So now I'm going to get my quick selection tool over here, and make sure you're highlighted on the main picture right here, this layer. And what I want to select is select subject. Now this is going to select Mandalorian. There it is, it outlined them perfectly. So we're going to say Control C, and we're going to do Control Shift V. All right, that's going to paste him directly on top of where he already was lying. Okay, so now that we have him separated, we're going to click this background layer. And I'm just going to get this square marquee tool here, and I'm just going to outline that spiral binding back there. Okay, and once again, I'm going to click Generate a Fill, leave it default, and I'm going to click Generate. This is going to clean up and remove that spiral binding. Now what's going to happen is it's going to give me 3 different options. Typically I can find something usable within those 3 options. If not, you can hit Generate again. I don't like that. I don't like that harsh cutoff line. That one's not bad, but it almost looks like water or something. Maybe this one. You know what? I'm gonna hit Generate again. Let's see what else it can come up with. All right. Okay, so that's not bad. That was not bad either. I think I'm just gonna go with that one just for the sake of time. So I'm going to select this layer, and I'm going to select the main background layer. Remember, you want to keep Mando on his own layer, right? All right, so now I'm going to merge these two with Control E once you have them highlighted. Boom. Now, here's something we might notice. For this to be such a cold and bright area, Mando just doesn't look like the right color tone to match that, right? So we want layer 4 right here to match generative fill 2, right? That layer. So I'm going to highlight 4, and I'm going to say image adjustment, match color, and we're going to choose the document. It's the only choice there is, but this is the document that we have open. So we'll choose that, and we're going to say we want it to match generative fill 2, which is right here. And now, obviously, that's a little drastic. So what I always like to do is go ahead and drag the fade all the way up. That takes us right back where we were. And then gradually bump it down until it feels like he's about where we want him to be. So if, somewhere in here, maybe color intensity, I don't know, let's see. Yeah, see the colors, just play with the settings a little bit. I'm probably gonna fade that a little bit and maybe darken him a little. Okay, that's not so bad. And in this case, if I were to go a step further, I would go to image adjustments and hue and saturation. And I would bring his saturation down just a little bit. There, now it feels a little bit more like his colors match the background, like the environment that he's in. The reflective white scenery is kind of reflecting on his body and his suit. Okay, so you could be finished right here. It already looks like a really cool shot for an action figure shot. But let's take it another step, right? Let's take it a level up here to more of a magazine shot or a movie scene. So here's some of the effects that I had laid out before. I may not use all of these. Some of these I've never used before at all, like the blizzard and the snow. This is a great opportunity for me to play with it. So for starters, let's go with some light. Let's control the light setting here. So here's some sun rays that I had. What I'm going to do is, you can't even hardly see it. It's not a whole lot that it's adding here, but that could be a good thing too. Just that subtle warm glow, because you could tell without it. But maybe add that subtle warm glow coming in like that. And this other one here, this is a little sun flare. Since we got the sun coming from the left side, I'm going to click one of these and I'm going to flip it horizontally. It helps if you choose the right layer. All right, now flip it horizontally. Let's put that sunshine up here in the sky. I might rotate it a little bit, and let's have that light kind of coming across his chest. That looks kind of cool to me. Now, if you feel like it's hitting his face too much, you can get an eraser if you really wanted to and kind of erase it off of him a little bit. So I kind of took it off of his face just to make sure that he's nice and clear. Okay, it's already looking better. Let's take a look at some of the snow elements. Okay, so I have here a sand, but obviously this isn't the desert. Can't leave it sand. So what I might do is come up to image adjustments, hue and saturation, and now I'm just going to suck all the color out of that, and now it's white. So now you can see it's a white cloud. So now it's more of like snow blowing across the ground. You can imagine hearing the whistling sound of the blizzard across the land and that snow just blowing across the shins there. Okay, let's see what a blizzard effect would look like. Let me highlight that blizzard there. I want to drag this down and out here. You know what? That's not bad. I kind of like that look. But again, if it's in his face, you can get the eraser tool, just select that layer, and I can erase some of that off of his face. There we go. That's not bad. And now I have a snow effect as well up there. So let's choose that snow. It's hard to see, but that's okay. I want it to be a little hard to see. You don't want any of this stuff to take away from him too much. Remember, he's the star of the picture here. So, I mean, it's already looking pretty cool. I don't want to overdo it, but that's pretty good. I think I'm going to go with this. I might select his layer right here and go to his image adjustments, and then I'm going to go to the levels. I might bring the darks up just a little bit to kind of just kind of pop him out. It's a hair. I don't know if you could tell what I just did. Okay, so now let's select this. I'm not messing with these other things up here, but just the effects here. I'm going to grab those effects all the way down to this background image, and I'm going to merge them. So now that's a merged image. At this point, what I like to do is I like to come up here to my adjustments. There's some presets, and there's an effect I like called, it's under creative, and it's called the dark fade. I'm going to click that. It puts a dark fade layer down here. Collapse that. And what I'm going to do is with that dark fade layer selected, I'm going to go to the opacity. And I basically I'm going to take it all the way down and then slowly bring it up until I get that kind of movie quality feel. Normally for me, it's around, I don't know, 35% or so. It's very subtle, but if you look at it before and after, that little subtle touch right there, just makes it feel like this is coming out of a edited camera shot from a movie. So I'm going to select that dark fade layer and this background layer and hit Control E to merge them. And now finally go back to adjustments, single adjustments, and then I'm going to do, let's look at the levels again. I'm going to probably drag this dark up a little bit. Oh, sorry, had to pop up on my screen. I'm probably going to drag the dark up a little bit and drag the lights. And the lights are already a little too light. So you could take this middle one over in this case. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So I'm going to merge that with this background layer again with Control E. Okay. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to add my logo right here, except for I'm going to make the transparency down pretty far. I don't know, maybe 45. Heck, let's just do like 40 somewhere. That's close enough. Okay. You don't want your watermark to be the star of the show, you know, so I always make it transparent. But there you go. There you have it. We have an edited picture of Mandalorian in the frozen wasteland. Now let's take a look real quick of the before and after. Before, it's not bad. After, kind of looks more like a little movie shot. So there we go. There's your difference. Okay. So I hope you enjoyed this little quick run through of how to edit. Once again, another one of these figures with one of these scenes out of the Flip Scene Studio book. Again, this is book 1, the Essential Pack. Has a little bit of everything. Okay, enjoy, and we will see you in tutorial number 9.